Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast coming up next. You see him. We got the owner of Dominant Championship Wrestling. Nemesis is in the building. We gonna talk that talk coming up next.
Following podcast scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, they are the Internet Podcast.
Ring Ropes and Turnbuckle Podcast, we back. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for more content. It's your boys, podcast champs of the world. The insightful S. Got Bars Wrestling Media. And the dynamic Salute Darkwing Dub. Special guest, the boss of all bosses. Nemesis is in the building with us. Let's give that round of applause. Yeah. All right. Hey, we appreciate you for tapping in with us this evening. Let's get right to it. So, you got a big event happening tomorrow. And
yes, sir.
We gonna dig into some of these matches real quick. Let me pull it up on the screen. Okay. So let's start it off. We're gonna let you lead the way.
Yes, sir. We got a big event coming tomorrow in Selma, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty stacked card. I'm actually a little bit unprepared. Let me get my iPad.
Okay.
Had like a crazy day today.
Yeah, no, we understand. Yeah, I see. You definitely have a stacked card. A lot of the guys and girls that you have on this card, a good portion of them we've had on our show. Blade Brown was just on our show recently. Of course, we talked to Psycho Boy. Yeah, we've had Diego Hill. Diego Hill was actually part of the inaugural episodes we've had in the beginning of our podcast. So that's dope. But yeah, this is a pretty stacked card.
Oh yeah, I wrestled Diego years ago, and to see the amount of improvement in this kid is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really doing big things. Blade Brown is another beast in the ring, and this new attitude he has is something to see live. So you guys need to make it on out and watch this.
Yeah. That's another thing that we wanted to ask you. So we're a little bit of a distance away. So if we can't make it to the event, how could we actually watch the event? Will we be able to watch this event on like YouTube or Triller? Because I know Triller has a lot of indie wrestling on their channel, on their app. What's available? What are the options out there for the fans to watch?
We're available on YouTube, and if I'm not mistaken, we're available on Patreon. You can go to dominantchampionshipwrestling.com and get all that information. And there'll be replays, and sometimes I do believe we are having a live shows.
Okay. This event
Live stream, I'm sorry.
Yeah. This event in particular, is this event going to be on YouTube or is it going to be on Patreon?
This particular one, I do believe, will be on YouTube.
Okay. Okay. And what? And let me see. Okay. What time will the event be starting?
The event starts at 7 o'clock.
Okay. So 7 o'clock. You're in North Carolina, correct?
Yes, so it'll be 7 o'clock Eastern,
Okay. All right.
7 o'clock Eastern time.
All right. Cool. 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 So we definitely will be tuned in. We definitely will be tuned in to watch. Um, we have a lot of questions. The event is called Lock and Loaded. Lock and Loaded. And what's up first? It says Pure Temptation, who are the champions, versus the Andersons. Now, is these are these the Andersons that I'm thinking? C.W. Anderson and Brock.
Yes, sir. Brock Anderson, C.W. Anderson, the enforcer, uh, known all over North Carolina. This is like his home base. So
Oh,
yeah, C.W. is
okay,
well known in this area.
okay.
Um, the son of Arn Anderson, Brock Anderson, who is also well known in this area. So ties to North Carolina go deep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we big fans of the Andersons, the Four Horsemen, all that. We was just talking to me and my people was just talking about that recently. Yeah, we're very familiar with what they do for sure. C.W. Anderson is a former ECW guy, so
Oh yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we familiar with what the Andersons do. Yeah, that spine buster ain't no joke. You know what I mean?
Oh no, like CW. CW is one of the guys that I got in the ring with a long time ago, and that helped me improve and train. So learned a lot from CW.
Yeah, yeah. So this match should be super fire. Can you tell us about Pure Temptation?
Uh, Pure Temptation is a hot up and coming tag team, and they are our current tag team champions. And there's been a little bit of turmoil between those two, uh, mainly because of the ego of one AC Divine. But I think CW is about to put that in check tomorrow.
Okay,
So we'll see what's going on with that.
okay, that's what's up. Okay, okay. So the next match on the card I see is Tim versus Diego Hill versus Xavier Stokes. So
Yes, sir. You got the Infinite Man Tim versus MLW's newest signee Diego Hill, and another up and coming uh, in Xavier Stokes. So this is sure to be a banger, and it's for our Carolina Prestige Championship.
okay. Question. Is this going to be like a high flyer type of match, like similar to like an X Division or Luchador or Cruiserweight type of deal?
Yes, sir. It's very much patterned after the X division. It's that division that you really have to go in. Like you have to be on your P's and Q's. Um, Anybody that's familiar and have seen the product has seen that it's only the top talent in this division, and they can really go like high flying, technical, um, just flat out jaw dropping action.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm definitely we definitely gonna be glued in for that one for sure, for sure, for sure. Um, BoJack versus Blade
Hold
Brown.
on, hold on,
Now,
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
what?
Time out. So, can you tell us a little bit about? You said the Infinite one, Tim, and up and coming Xavier Stokes, because we've, like he said before, we've talked to Diego Hill. So, can you tell us a little bit about these other two that are going to go one on one, or sorry, going to be in this three-way match with Diego Hill?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Infinite Man Tim is our he's our current champion. Wrestled all over the country and Canada. Um, if you were to see him, this guy's amazing. just from the in-ring action and the mind games he's known for. Um, just awesome talent. Xavier Stokes is a newcomer, but he is a sight to see. Like, he is a marvel in the ring. Like, the 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 acrobatics this kid is can just pull off is crazy. So with all three in this ring at one time, this is sure to be probably the match stealer of the night.
I was just about to say that too. Everything that you've said about uh, the Infinite One Tims and Xavier Stokes and what we already know about Diego Hill, this looks like it's gonna be what does Sheamus like to say? Banger after banger after banger. It's gonna be one of them bangers.
For sure.
Oh yeah, you Xavier is can give Diego Hill a run for his money, and then you throw in Tim, who can be a acrobat, but also can be a bruiser in the ring. But add all three together, and this is an explosion waiting to happen.
I'm looking forward to that one. I already know. I'm already looking forward to that one. Uh,
Yes, sir.
looks like the next on the list is going to be for the heavyweight championship. We got Bojack versus Blade Brown. Tell us how we got to this point.
Well, Bojack's just a phenomenon. The crowd just gets behind him like nobody I've seen. Like, um, amazing talent. And Blade, you've talked to him. Blade is and a real awesome talent. But Blade was up for a championship match before he got hurt. So we decided to revisit this with Blade coming back in. So this one is sure to be a hard hitting match. I'll promise you that.
Yeah, not for nothing. He did mention that too. He definitely mentioned that on the show. He said yo, cause we asked him about that, and he said yeah he was up for a title shot, and then he got hurt. So like yeah, I know he's salivating for this one. I already
Yeah, he
know.
is.
Oh yeah, man. Blade's an awesome guy. Like, Blade is his intensity is unmatched in the ring. Like, this guy is off the charts when it comes to the aggressiveness he shows when he gets in the ring. And like, I've taken that spear, and it is no joke. It
Yeah,
is no joke.
and
That's
we
that
act,
football
So,
background.
not
man,
yeah, not to cut you off, not for nothing. We got a clip of him talking about his spear and how hard the spear hit. So we gonna post that clip. He was going in. He was expressing himself intensified. And he was saying how hard the spear is. So if you saying it, then he definitely was telling it on one of the videos for sure.
man, my ribs were out as close to broke as you could get them, like, without being broke. I think, like, I had that, like, I think that clip almost went viral of me getting speared out my boots. So yeah, I'll vouch for that spear any day.
Okay, yeah. Well, he definitely said that the spear was no joke. All right, yeah. Continue, bro.
And then next match that we have on the list is the one and only. We've had him on the show, Mr. Psycho Boy Fodder versus ex WWE star, MLW star now, Dijak. Um, how, let's get into this one. How do we get Psycho Boy versus Dijak?
Fodder is one of those talents that is an enigma in the business. Like, he knows how to get under your skin, and if you're not careful, like, I do believe Fodder could beat anybody in the business. Um, he's a technician in the ring, and don't let him fool you. Like, as crazy as he comes off, this guy is a genius when he gets in the ring. And he's been taking on all comers. Like he has a streak right now, and like he's been putting down some big names in the business. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do with Dijak.
Is he gonna have that psycho stick with him?
That thing goes everywhere he goes. So I'm pretty sure it'll be involved. Pretty sure.
So if the stick is there, that means the psycho wife is gonna be there too. Then
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. We know. Like that is the it couple. Um, the it couple. So um, hopefully, whatever they decide to do, uh, they'll keep it honest. But hey, this is wrestling, so
well, what are we
looking forward to
expecting
it.
to see out of Dijak?
Dijak is I think Dijak has something to prove. Like um awesome talent. Um I don't think he's been seen in this area uh since his release. But I think he's here to prove that he is the man and what he says he is. Um Looking forward to seeing more of him around here.
And to be honest, I personally, I don't know about my boy down there, but I don't think he got a fair shake up there at the big company. They underutilized him something crazy. So
Yeah,
I believe it when you say that he has a point to prove.
yeah,
I think when you're up top, uh, if you don't fit their mold, um, they kind of pass you by. So I honestly think he was on a upward trajectory, but hey, what do we know down here? You know, um, I think he has something to prove, and I think he's been proving that since being back on the Indies. So I'm looking forward to seeing him tomorrow.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun match too, because you said Psycho Boy has a streak going on, and you got Dijak coming to prove a point. So it's like we're gonna get the heads
Oh yeah,
clashing.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
the
oh yeah.
banging, the
I
banging of the Rams.
Hmm.
I like to throw things out there that that's sure to send the fans home talking. So we'll see some first tomorrow, I'm sure.
Can't wait for that one either. Man, this is so far every match that we've gone over so far. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
Next one on the list is the DCW Women's Championship. Jasmine, is it Howe,
Jasmine
who is
Howe.
who's the current champion, versus Keely Capri. So tell us a little bit about each wrestler, and then we can go over the match, what we expect from the match.
Jasmine Howe is our current champion, and she's actually our longest reigning champion. She's going in at over a year, and has been undefeated for that whole time. So she's carried the championship for over a year, and she'll be going up against Keely, who is a newcomer to DCW, but came in sparking all kinds of trouble. Um, this is sure to be a real good match because I've seen Jasmine in there with Samantha Evans and some other names, and like held her on, and even came out on top against Samantha. So I'm really looking forward to this match tomorrow.
What should we be expecting from each one tomorrow?
I'm looking for Jasmine to prolong her streak even longer. Uh, she showed me that she has that grit to stand up to any challenge given to her. But also, Keely has come in with a toughness that is kind of unseen today. Uh, she she'll fool you with the looks, and she is definitely about her looks. But when she gets in there, she gets down and dirty. So I'm pretty sure this will be, and actually, it'll be a very hard hitting match.
Another match to be on the lookout for. Like so far, I haven't heard anything that's gonna be bad. I
Not
haven't.
at all.
No,
Not at
no.
all. Not at all.
We like to have all bangers.
Banger after banger after banger. You need to get Seamus down there so you can start saying that for y'all.
Oh, yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, bro. I'll let you get the last two.
All right, so after that we got Con O'Kelly versus Trax versus La Chica. So tell us about Con O'Kelly.
Con O'Kelly is a sight to see. Con is a very tough competitor. But Con is actually he's a very big fan favorite, and gives you gold dust vibes.
Okay.
Coming in partnering with Thrax, who comes out of the DCW Proving Grounds, which is our training school. And since he's been on the main roster, he is undefeated on the main roster. So we figured we put these two together and see what they can shake up. But they're also going up against our premier faction inside of DCW, who are actually straight out of the DCW Proving Grounds as well. La Clica.
La Clica, my bad. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Some mass guys from Mexico who don't respect the country at all. So they're here to make money, talk trash, and win titles.
You said they're masked wrestlers, so I would assume they're of luchador. They're luchador like. What besides the luchador? What would you describe La Clica like? Because when I'm looking at La Clica, as far as the name itself, I'm thinking of LAX type of team, something along those lines, maybe.
You can take LAX's attitude, but mix that with the just some cool playboys, rich playboys that are about their business, but when they get in the ring, they handle business, but they know how to, party and live that lifestyle outside of the ring.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that then. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Lastly, we got Duke O'Connor versus Jackson Drake.
Duke O'Connor, man, is just a powerhouse. I've always said he's my Brock Lesnar because he is just like, in the ring, he is just like unstoppable. He is a force in the ring to be reckoned with. And he's going against Jackson Drake, who is also the Evolve Championship champion. So these guys were actually friends, but I think there's a little bit of professional jealousy going on. But we're gonna see what shakes tomorrow, because this will actually be the rubber match in their little series. So Duke has some things to prove, and of course Jackson wants to see Duke not get around that title.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, we very familiar with Jackson Drake. We watched him and Swipe Right. So we
Oh yeah.
yeah we definitely familiar with him and his over there at Evolve. He be doing this thing. Yeah. So yeah, we're actually looking forward to the whole card. I haven't heard nothing that will not be a banger. This is going to be a dope card. I'm looking forward to watching tomorrow evening. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to be a hot show.
Yeah.
So, are you guys only around the North Carolina area, or do you leave North Carolina, maybe go north or south or east from you?
Mainly around North Carolina. We're a young Fed. We've been up 3 years, um, and we've quickly become probably uh, one of the top promotions here in North Carolina. Um, but we're looking to expand, so we may be headed in some new territories.
Have you thought about doing a angle DCW versus Ashe Wrestling? Because you know they're based in Charlotte.
Man, I would really love to. We also pride ourselves in being a I know they are a black owned group, black oriented group, and in this business it's very hard to find that. So we also pride ourselves in having a majority black locker room. So I would love to see something like that shake out. Would love to see something like that shake out.
That would be very, 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 very fun to watch because
Mm-hmm.
you know we're getting locked in with you. We've been locked in with Ashe, so I'm just thinking about the stuff that me and him could talk about. You know, the up and coming show versus the show that we've been watching because we gonna stay locked in with you. We're
Mm-hmm.
staying
For
locked
Yes,
in
sure.
sir.
with you.
For sure.
And
Appreciate it.
so
Appreciate it.
so real quick, do you guys have like weekly shows, like episodic shows?
Um, a lot of our replays, like I said, show on Patreon and show on YouTube, so you can
Mm-hmm.
access all our content on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Um, other than that, I think right now that's all we have. Looking to further do further and bigger and better things into the new year. So that would definitely be an option.
I know we would definitely look forward to that too.
Mm-hmm.
Having an episodic show from an up and coming, promotion that we don't have to rely on a Raw and a SmackDown or a Dynamite and Collision. We can get DCW doing an episodic when we something that we can actually look forward to and don't have to worry about getting on X or getting on Instagram and say, oh, well, the attendance was only this and the ratings were only this. Like, this is something that we can just enjoy because we just enjoy professional wrestling. Don't have to worry about all that other nonsense.
Oh yeah, the Indies is where it's at. Is far less tribalism here. Um, we're way more accessible. We're not trying to beat you over the head for profit. Is we love wrestling and we love what we do. So that's our motivation. So oh yeah, a weekly episodic would be great.
So let's start at the beginning real quick. So what made you want to start your own promotion?
Um, Mainly because of, like I said, being in the business. I've been in the business now going on 30 years. So um, just wanting to have something different and to be the change that I always felt like needed to be in wrestling. and being a former worker, um, I felt like I could do it different than just your regular promoter. You know, guys in the business know how some of these promoters can be. So I've never seen myself as a promoter. Um, I've just felt like uh, I've just wanted to throw great events and give the guys and girls opportunities to opportunities to be seen. So basically, that was my motivation. So with the partners involved in the promotion, we just set out to be different and show them through our actions that we are different.
What is it about the state of North Carolina when it comes to professional wrestling? Because we got you guys there. We've also mentioned Ashe, and if it's my understanding, there's also a few other ones that are around the state. What is it about North Carolina and professional wrestling?
North Carolina is the hotbed of wrestling. I don't care what nobody says. Like we, right now, we and always have been. We're just we're the mecca of the South to me. I do believe that the talent coming from this area is somewhat unmatched as far as like um, the guys who have made it, and then the up and coming guys that are right there on the crest of being superstars. Um, we are we have a great fan base, and then just talent, man. We these guys are hungry, so once they get that opportunity, they shoot for the stars.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. My question for you is, in your early stages of your promotion, what challenges have you faced? Like, and how did you overcome them?
Um, basically, staying fresh and new. Um, I have a uh, I try to give the fans action as if it were one of the bigger options. I've never wanted to run as like a small fed, you know. Um, I want them to have the same experience they would have as if they were spending the two, three, $400 a ticket. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I didn't want. I really, I've really always wanted them to come to our shows and feel like they are at a Raw or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I honestly don't believe anybody's touching our production when it comes to our shows.
Mm-hmm.
So you leave our shows feeling like you were at something real special.
Yeah. So then that leads into my next question. How was your approach building a strong presence in the local communities?
Um, we just stayed. We've always stayed humble. We've always been about giving back by being accessible to our fan base and
Mm-hmm.
um, trying to give back to the uh, the local businesses. Um, we're always doing the parades. We're always doing the little events. We'll hit up um, anything that gets the name out there and that can show people that you can have access to what we got going on.
Yeah. I think that's very important. Community work as far as a promotion, I think that's very important because uh, that will not only help you build, that will also get what I'm saying. It could be investors, things like that, sponsors, and things like that. Who knows? TV deal, like and I think if anything, TV deals are very important because that's going to just make you guys spread your wings. You know what I'm saying? And in an age now where we have applications and stuff like that, might even be able to get your own app, and then people could watch y'all 24/7. So
Yes, sir.
so like I definitely think that's important. Like I pray that you guys get that because a lot of the promotions now are getting those deals with the Tubi, they're getting the deals with their Roku TV, and things like that. So it might be something you want to look into in the near future. Like it might be something you want to look into because it's definitely out there, and there's more, It's not just that. I know because I have a Roku TV, so I know there's this one channel where it shows all the indie promotions 24/7. 24/7. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called ITV or something like that. Something like
It's
that.
IWTV.
Yeah, IWTV.
Yeah.
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 So it shows all the promotions 24/7. So at times I catch myself watching and I see like all types of new promotions from across the globe. And I'm like, damn. And then not only that, they show old matches too. So somebody that we might know now that's in the WWE or AEW or Ring of Honor, whatever, they start on some small promotion that's on that app, and I'm like, oh snap, like wow, he wrestled there. So it definitely is out there for you guys. It definitely is out there.
Oh yeah, the team is going to be looking into all that. We've had some pretty good opportunities, and we're looking forward to branching out and getting the name out there and doing bigger, better things, and being linked with you guys. I'm sure will help that out a lot.
Oh, hey, most definitely, we are down for the cause. Trust and believe that. Let me tell you something. We are fanatics when it comes to wrestling. We're not just the type of creators that we just watch one particular promotion. We watch all promotions. We are wrestling fans, and I believe that if we weren't that, we wouldn't have been able to connect with an Ashe. We wouldn't have been able to connect with you guys. We wouldn't have been able to because we would have just been so close-minded to that one or that other. You know what I'm saying? No, we're open to all wrestling. You understand
Oh
what
yeah.
I'm saying? So, yes, count us in for sure. Like, we're definitely down with that. I got one more question that I'm gonna slide it back over to Dub. As an independent promotion, what is your approach to financial stability and growth?
I think the key to being whether it's startup or whatever, I think you have to invest back into your company. You can't look at it as, oh, what am I making, or hey, get all the money I can get, because whatever you get, I think has to go back into the company, whether it's advertising, production, equipment, whatever it is the better your product looks, the bigger you'll be. You can't have that just rake everything in and keep it to myself mentality. You have to give back to the fans, and then give back to your product and invest in your product.
Most definitely. I think that is very, very important. What they say, scared money don't make money. So
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah. So hey, you gotta invest in yourself. You gotta invest in your product, and it's going to spread. It's going to spread. Like we could tell you that firsthand. Like everything we're doing, we've been investing since the day we started this show. We've been investing, and you know, God willing, we reaping the benefits now, and we're gonna continue to do that. So, like, for all you people out there, scared money don't make money. Invest in yourself because it will grow plentiful, and what I mean, that is a fact.
Oh yeah, you'll eventually get it back. You'll eventually get where you want to be. You just can't give up.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Tag you back in, Doug.
So you mentioned that like just like Ashe, you're a predominantly black locker room. Have you ran into any obstacles with that? People lashing out at you, or just racism in general?
Actually, no, which is odd, being here in the South. Growing up in the South and coming into the business in the South, there were certain tropes and stereotypes, and even with the guys I came into the business with, we were told certain things as like, oh, in the South, black guy, you're gonna have to be a heel and all this, but it's really not like that. The people are gonna like who they like, and so when it came time to having a majority black crew, um, there were people out there that were like, oh, I don't know how that's gonna work, da, 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 da. But we have honestly our our audience and our attendance has grown every show, every single show. Every single show has gotten bigger and bigger. So if there was an issue with our talent being majority black, you would have seen a fall off, and we haven't seen that.
Yeah, and I bring that up because I remember I was watching an interview. One of our good friends, was interviewing Darius Lockhart about Ashe, and he was asking. One of them had asked a similar question to him, and he responded by saying, "Well, I actually got a message from somebody that is white asking, well, since you're black owned with black wrestlers, am I not allowed to show up?" He was like, "No, everybody is allowed. Everybody's allowed. It's just the wrestling is based around black people, but anybody is allowed to show up and watch the show, enjoy the show." Shout out to Ladybug because she's the one that put on that interview with Darius Lockhart. But so I'm assuming you feel the same way.
Yes, I in the 3 years we've been doing it, I've only seen one comment, and it was actually almost word for word what you just said. Um, because there's trolls and everything, so that's what I attributed to. Because if you were serious about it, that is one of the craziest questions you could ask. Because I feel like anybody that's known wrestling and any of the guys in the business know that the majority of the times you go into a locker room as a black man or black woman, you're going to be one of only a few in the locker room, you know? So, and that question is never asked then, you know what I mean? So, I think anybody that would ask that question doesn't really care about wrestling. You know what I mean? They care more about something that shouldn't even matter in wrestling. But like I said, I wanted to be the change. I'm pretty sure Darius was the same way. We wanted to be something that we didn't see in the business, you know. So it's very, very rare to enter a locker room and it's more of us than anybody else, you know. So I'm happy to showcase black people. I'm happy to showcase who have always been some of these most athletic wrestlers ever. But we tend to never get that shine in other places. So, but we're also I also feel like we're a safe place for anybody.
Mhm.
We don't cater to certain stereotypes or whatever. You know, anybody can come to the show and feel totally comfortable. We haven't had any issues at a show, um, and the fans have a amazing time at the show. And I honestly don't think anybody's sitting there thinking about race.
I would hope not. I would hope it's crazy to think that we're in 2025 and we're still having to have these conversations.
I've always looked at wrestling as it's supposed to be what takes you away from your regular life. If I shouldn't be sitting here thinking about what's going on, out here in the world. I should be entertained for that 2.5, 3 hours that we're at a show, you know, and that's our job. I think we can get people away from whatever they're going through, and I think that's what wrestling should be. Like you should literally be at a show and not care who's there. You know, you should be so entertained that race would be the furthest thing from your mind.
I completely agree with you. I think a problem that one company in particular is having is that we're not seeing too many of us on their TV screens lately. And you're seeing the chief content officer over in the White House and stuff like
Hey,
that. So what would you say to the black wrestlers over in that company that are having a hard time finding shine? What would be one thing that you would say to them?
I would say that you have options. Don't don't stay where you're not appreciated. And that goes for both companies, but we seem to have only one company who's making an aggressive stance to make their opinions known, which is crazy to me. To have the talent they have, and they're sitting in catering, you know what I'm saying, or they're not even being pushed to the extent that we all know they should be, is crazy. And I knew it wasn't just me thinking that, you know. I watch TV, I watch wrestling, um, but I couldn't help but see that exact thing, Um, yeah, I would say go where you appreciate it. And not all the time. That's not necessarily uh, looked at as the smarter move, but um, I think you have to do what's best for you. And if it's best for you to be there, then by all means do what you got to do. Me personally, it would be hard for me to do.
I agree. And if you look at said person's best friend running the development show, majority of his champions are black. So it's a weird dynamic that they have. It's so weird because like NXT, majority of the champions are black, and then as soon as you get up to Raw and SmackDown, is like they just sit in catering.
It almost makes you scared for those guys that are being called up. Um, I just got through watching a little bit of SmackDown, so to see one actually get called up and get pushed, uh, it's a good feeling, but then you think of it as, well, how long are they gonna let that go on? Before they're back in catering.
So
You
I
know,
didn't see it. So who got called up?
Lash showed up today.
Okay. Yeah.
So something I've been waiting personally. I've been waiting for her to show up for shit over like a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I thought she was doing real good. Had some real good matches. Put on a banger with Bianca and Naomi, but then got pushed back to the developmental. So it was weird. You know.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. The one that I'm afraid for the most is Obafemi. I'm just afraid that they're gonna do him just like they did Carmelo Hayes, that call him up and he'll just sit there.
Yeah.
I do believe they have their next Brock Lesnar in Oba if they push him right. Oba should be a force on the main roster, but
Yes.
you're just scared of what's gonna happen when he gets there.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Because he was that
because
force
I
in
know,
NXT.
yeah, but you got to look at who they're catering to. you
Yeah.
know, who they're catering to, like you said, the guy was at the White House. The guy was seen at numerous speeches, and so when you know who he caters to, now you know why you don't have the black talent being pushed because of this non-black thing they got going on in the world. So I think we're being attacked on several fronts or whatever. So that's what that's why we should be stronger together.
Hmm.
And like, it's no time to be uh, fighting each other when you got so many people trying to go against you. Um, and like a Shay, create your own avenue. You know,
That's it.
is it?
That's it.
Hey, it's easy to do. You could create the next. You could bring Shay or Dominant Championship Wrestling into another level um, by doing so. Um, you can make that another option. You know, you won't need that money. You won't need that push from that organization, because if they don't appreciate you, then what are you really there for?
So before I pass it back down to my boy down there, if you were if you were putting the matches and everything together for Carmelo Hayes, because he's the one that worries me the most, because I feel like once his contract is up, a piece of me feels like, okay, he's just gonna pack up, he's gonna leave, he may show up in AEW, he may go back to the indies. um so for him in particular, how would you book Carmelo Hayes if you were running uh the matches and everything over in WWE?
I think you gotta. Everybody looks to Carmelo's size or whatever um, as the excuse not to do what they really should do with him. But to me, you got to take a chance on Carmelo like you did Shawn Michaels. In Shawn Michaels' time, he wasn't the biggest guy in the ring. So take the chance with him that you would have taken with a Shawn Michaels, because he's everything Shawn wanted. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Shawn saw himself in him, and that's why he
Mm-hmm.
pushed him like he did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to take that chance in him. Like, Daniel Bryan wasn't the biggest guy in his time, but they took a chance on him, and you see what they got out of it. So I think they'll do that for some talent, but again, when it comes to us, they seem to not want to do that. you know. So I know that might not be the popular opinion, but
They'll be all right.
Yeah, it's cool. They'll be good. They'll be good.
you know,
It is what it is. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, we literally just had Ahmed Johnson on our show a week or two ago, and he straight up said that Triple H is a racist and a bitch. So take that for where you
man.
will.
Hey, hey, I've seen some interviews. I do know MVP don't like the guy. Um, most of the uh most of the allegations I've heard like that, he's not beaten. he's he's just not beating those allegations.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think he's trying to.
Nah, he's not. He's not. He's made it perfectly clear that, he don't care for us. You know what I'm saying? He's made it perfectly clear. Just the statements that he said alone just shows you that, he's not about the culture. He's just about, what's in front of him at that present time, and that's that. It's not even, you know, I tell you like this, like we've been tackling this topic for a little while now, like, and the deeper in the rabbit hole we go as far as this topic, it's the same ending, and I just feel like it's just like what you said, we have to come together as one. You know what I'm saying? We have to promote one another. And I think once we do that and continue to do that, I think that's when everything for us is going to continue to flourish. So when we see the black owned products, when we see the black owned stores, when we see the black owned promotions, push it, promote it. You know what I'm saying? Get together, network. You know, like find that happy medium, work out something. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's very important. Let the egos go to the sideline. You feel me? Because like I know a lot of times when our folk we all get together, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes like it's a clashing of the minds. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
you know, I think the clashing of the mind things could be detrimental, especially if we got two creative individuals that's trying to reach a common goal. So if the common goal is to be successful, then find a way to like put your ideas together and then sprout them wings and fly. You feel me? So I
I think in this business, people tend to try to shy away because you still have predominantly uh, one group at wrestling shows, which is to in this day and time that's kind of still crazy. Um, but I still think you have to be yourself, and you can't be scared to speak out on certain topics. Like to hell with them. You know what I mean? I think if you feel a certain way, I think you need to be vocal about it because not speaking out on things just diminishes your voice. You know, in more
does it
one
ever?
ways than one. You
Does
know,
it ever? Does it ever?
so I think we need more guys up top to actually take a chance on themselves and actually demand that they're treated better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just go through what they go through and then talk about it later. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes you just got to show your ass. You just gotta
Mm-hmm.
go for what you know.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely. I agree with you 110%. So I have a question. So how do you keep the wrestlers engaged and motivated as independent contractors?
You have to let them know that what you're doing is to promote them, and is actually harder than it should be, and is uh, something as small as doing interviews or doing promos. Sometimes can be like pulling teeth, but once you let them know that, hey, this is how we advertise for you. This is how we build up uh, interest in what we got going on. So um, once they see the product and see what you can actually do by actually producing a top-notch product, a lot of them just feel they feel like they're a part of something. So I'm one of the guys that I don't try to micromanage um, everything they do. I want them to create, so that gives me the best product because it came from your head and not just my train of thought. Um, I'll give you a outline or a vision of what I'm thinking of, but then I'll let you go out there and make the moment. So and I think that's what's big. Like, let the guys go out there and make the moment, have a great show, um, and as the crowd builds, then they feel like they're a part of something. So they want that. They want to give you their best work.
Yeah, I think that's important. Keeping the talent motivated, and also giving them, a bit of creative freedom and letting them experiment and things like that. And not for nothing, I do understand sometimes, with certain athletes, depending, too much of the creative freedom might hinder their progress. You know what I mean? But I do think also too that the creative freedom is important because it's growing pains. You understand what I'm saying? Like you learn from that what works and what doesn't work. I know we was talking to Psycho Boy, and he was saying what worked for him was being a heel, and he experimented with a lot of facets of what his character could be. And then when he got into the actual role that he knew that fit him, and then he got that advice at the end, that's what he stuck with. And I feel like that's important. You know what I mean? Being able to experiment with different facets and then understanding that this fits for me. Uh, we also spoke about that with the smoke Eric Moran. He wrestled in ECW. He was trained under New Jack. We spoke to him about character placement and everything like that, and he also went through different phases before he got to the point where this is what I'm going to stick with, and this is how I'm going to produce what I got. So I feel like the creativity is important. As long as you know exactly where you're going with it. But if you're all over the place with it, then it could become like your child just taking their hands and smearing it on the wall all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like it could become
Yeah,
like that. So I definitely get it. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
always been pretty good with character development and
Hmm.
uh, what I try to teach the students and guys that sometimes you have to be you and just exaggerate it, turn it up,
Hmm.
um, because the more you feel comfortable, the more you will engage. If you're out here trying to cosplay a wrestler or be somebody you're not, it's not going to be believable. But I've had ideas I threw against the wall and just to see what stuck, but it wasn't until I got comfortable being myself and projecting like who I really was, just turned up, is when everything seemed to click for me.
Hmm.
And I actually saw the business a different way. So once I settled into my gimmick, um, and it actually turned out not to be a gimmick. It just was me.
Hmm.
you know. So
Hmm.
that's just what you have to do sometimes. Like
Hmm.
just make it bigger than life. Uh, and sometimes it is stepping out of yourself. Sometimes it is the opposite of what you are. Sometimes you can feel more comfortable that way, but I think being yourself, exaggerating it, and then finding that level of just comfortable to where you can just let it go.
Yeah.
I think that's what worked with Roman. That's what worked with other guys. So then you see what it did for these guys. Like once they were allowed to be themselves, they just shot like a rocket.
Yeah, I definitely think the transition of Roman Reigns is very important because like when they try to force him to be this one particular character, you could tell he was very uncomfortable at times, and they kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him, and the fans booed and booed and booed until one day they was just like, all right, we gonna let you do it your way, and we're gonna see what happens. And then they connected it with the Paul Heyman, and then from the Paul Heyman, we created the bloodline. Then you brought in the Usos, and then before you know it, like it was like a 4.5 year run with him holding both chips. So it probably one of the most historic runs in professional wrestling. Period.
I think not only just the run of Roman, I think that whole storyline was probably the most captivating storyline in wrestling history. I don't think there was a storyline that just kept you glued to the TV like that in years. They kind of screwed it up with the addition of certain people, but I think when it was hitting, it was really hitting, and could really still be going today. But they chose to try to cater to other people. So yeah, man, I think once you're allowed to be yourself, you'll start seeing the business different, and you'll start touching on things and making things work for you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Um, I got this question. How does DCW decide which wrestlers to bring in, and what qualities do you look for in a prospective talent?
I'm kind of different on certain things, and I'm sure everybody's not gonna look at it like that, but I like to not necessarily look for the indie darling that's booked all the time and all this stuff, but I would rather see somebody that has the potential as far as to that person that I could see something in as far as being on that next level, you know. Um, but I also I like to I like to bring in guys that I know can add to the product. I know that can send the fans home feeling a certain way,
Right.
and that could add to the overall vision of what we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do is just give the fans something different that they haven't seen around here like that before. So I know some organizations may book the same guys over and over and over again, but I think when you're bringing in new talent and mixing them with your core guys, and the product doesn't become stale. You know, you keep the fans on their toes. They're gonna have their favorites, but you don't want to just you don't want to overload them with the same guy all the time.
Right.
Because you'll just burn them out with that one person. So bring in like talent that want to add to your product.
Right, right. I agree with you 110%. And like bringing in the different facets of talent that can promote your product and bring your product up higher than what it already is. I think that's very important. And not for nothing, I think that's why too. Certain promotions might rely on certain guys at times. But you're right. It does seem kind of repetitive as well too. You know what I mean? That they keep relying on these same people time after time after time after time again. And not looking out for another some fresh faces. You know, um, I also think it's important too to be able to take a risk and bringing in certain types of talent. If you envision something creatively and you bringing in this guy or this girl and you put it together, and then like I said before, what I'm saying, you're a Picasso making a painting. What would you want the overall picture to look like? You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's important to do that too. Not for nothing. Some of the best promotions had to take some chances here and there in order to get what they wanted, as far as like a 5-star match, or even a 5-star pay-per-view, PLE, whatever. It had to be some sort of challenges and chances that had to be taken in order to put together the masterpiece. So I definitely understand for sure.
You never know. You never know who's hungry. Um, I think if they want it bad enough, and you can get them to see your vision and see that they're a part of it and not just somebody there for a payday. Um, then I think you have a winning combination. They have Once you get them to believe in you and your product and your vision, then most of the guys and girls are willing to help you succeed, because when you succeed, they succeed, and vice versa. So when they come in with ideas, I'm all in to listen to ideas. I'm not gonna say, hey, I want this, and this, and that's just it. You know, because I want you to give me your best. So, yeah, you just have to be willing to, like you said, take a chance on somebody that's unknown sometimes, because that person that's unknown may give you that that thing that spark you're looking for. You know.
Definitely, I agree with you. All right, here goes. I got this question for you, then I'm gonna pass it back to Dub. How has the rise of social media, online streaming affected your promotion and its events and connects with fans?
I think when you don't have TV, um, social media is your TV. I think things like YouTube, Instagram, X, whatever you choose to use, that can be your weekly, that could be your daily uh, source of advertising. That can be your daily source of content. And we like to put out a lot of content. We like to put out a lot of vignettes and skits. So to get and keep fans engaged. So they're seeing stuff all week. They're seeing stuff all month from us, not just uh, day of the show, not just week of the show. They're seeing stuff from show to show, you know, and staying involved and staying, just seeing stuff unfold, so that wrestling is nothing but a soap opera. So you got to keep their attention. So if you're only throwing shows once a month, then you got to do something to remind them of what happened the last month. So if you're doing something all month long, they stay engaged and they want to see what unfolds. So social media has been a huge part of what we do, um, and it's just a way. We didn't have that when I came up, so um, you're able to touch people worldwide on social media. Um, so it's not just local, and I think you're able to touch way more people and way more people that's in your target group. You know.
Yeah, I think social media is important. But I also feel too though, you have to be mindful of, a few things on social media too, cuz like the trolls be out. We because of the type of podcast that we are, we've had to like, dismantle, a few trolls ourselves over the course of the last, 3 or 4 days, but me and my partner over here, we with the smoke. We not we don't be playing that over here. Like, we
Nah.
with the smoke. So like we know, but I also too, I had one of my mentors in the content creating field, had to sit down and have a chat with me. Like, he also told me too, like, he was like, hey, listen, man, he's like, it's no need for that. Like, worst case scenario, just block them. You know what I'm saying? Block them. Delete their comment. You know what I'm saying? Focus
Yeah.
on all the positive energy that's being spewed in. And not for nothing, we get a lot of it. And like, so I do think it's important to engage on social media, but also be aware of the trials and tribulations of social media too, because words speak volumes, and at times you get certain people, they don't got no filter on the keyboard, and they try to go in thinking, what I mean, they're getting something off, and before you know it, at times you might have, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it affect the higher up, guys on the mainstream promotions. We seen them. They will log off. They don't want to even talk to nobody no more. We'll see them log off for like 3-4 months. You won't see nothing for them, and then they pop up. And then they said they had to take a break. So I just feel like it's important. Know your know your boundaries as far as social media, and know your surroundings, and also be prepared for whatever engagement you're going to get, because if you putting out this one thing, you might get what you asking for. If you putting out this other thing, you might not get what you asking for.
Oh yeah, man. Like you're gonna have trolls and everything. I've always said the worst part, the worst place to live in is the comments on a post. Like that is the absolute. It's like the mosh pit of a doggone of the internet. Like it's horrible in the comments. But for everybody that wants to see you succeed, you're definitely gonna have those people that are trying to bring you down. And it's no different in the business, where promoters will go around pulling down your posters and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have those people. You're gonna have those demons that want to derail your progress or whatever. But if you weren't doing anything, then they wouldn't be talking.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
weren't doing anything, they wouldn't be trying so hard to take you down. Because you don't worry about people that are not on your level. You know, so people only worry about people that are above them. So um, I say you just gotta be you. You gotta stick to your guns and do you, and stay solid and not worry about the little back noise.
yeah, for sure. I agree with you 110%. Go ahead, Doug.
I tell him all the time, like, between the two of us, I'm with the shits.
I gotta remind my partner too, man. Like, whenever he comes to me about he heard this or somebody said, I was like, yo, we are not gonna worry about that. We're gonna do what we do and let them worry about us. Because as long as they're worrying about us, then that means we're doing something right. You just can't, like, I'm that type of person, like, I don't have a filter. So
That's
I
this guy right here. That's him. That's him right
I
here.
I'm usually saying what's on my mind first. So like, I have no problem giving it to somebody. Just I don't care, man. Like, because I'm not holding that in. I'd
Yeah.
rather just say what I gotta say, and hey, it is what it is. So I'm with it too. Like, hey, I'm on whatever you're on. So we
Oh,
just
there's been numerous of times where this guy below me is saying like, "Hey, bro, we just gonna do what we got to do, and we're not gonna worry about that." And I'll sit there and think like, "Yeah, you right," but then I'll go in my mind, I'm like, "Nah, this dude is just talking nasty. I want to get nasty too."
sometimes
Pause.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Sometimes it's best to let things go, but hey, sometimes you just gotta go in. I mean, misery loves company, so I'd rather just keep positive energy around, um, and just let those that are miserable be miserable. Because if you're miserable now, you're gonna be real miserable once I get to where I'm going. You know,
Right.
so I'll look down at you. Hey,
I know that's
I'm
right.
good. I'll
So,
look down at you.
speaking of positive energy, I want to know, where did the name the Freak Show come from?
Man, that's just that was one of my that was one of my that was one of my things I just threw out there to see if it stuck. Um, I always felt like I had things working against me in the business. Being a smaller guy, being a shorter guy, um, it was, I always had to work harder. So uh, that was that was an idea that evolved. Like, I've always been Nemesis throughout my whole career, but I've gone through different phases of who Nemesis is. Um, so that part of me became like the ultimate entertainer. Um, so the freak show became like the fantasy guy. So when I was out there, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, the freak show was like everything your girl wanted and everything you hated, but couldn't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, when I came out, uh, it was like the presence of that character was just overwhelming. Like, it was a sight to behold, because honestly, I just became somebody else. Because that was totally not me at all. It was just, once I got into doing that though, it was like I could like live out through that character, you know. Um, but part of it was me, if that made any sense. Um, it was a it started out being kind of a dark character, and then it evolved into being, for lack of words, he became it was a stripper gimmick.
Mm.
so so like, I, I've had people say they hadn't seen anything like that before. So it became a big thing in this area. Um, it was something to see, you know. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty
this
sure
picture
people
I'm
had a
looking
great
at.
time.
Oh yeah, this picture I'm looking at on Facebook from September 26, 2022. You got a black and white bandana on. You got one of them mask in your hand. I can't explain the mask. And then you got this big old giant mallet, like you was ready to just smash somebody.
That part of me, that part of Nemesis became I was fresh off of being the older vet Nemesis, and that part of me is when I created the group, the Purge,
That's
kind
what it
of
says, the purge.
the anti hero, the anti establishment. Um, we really didn't care about your indie darlings. We was out to destroy just all of these uh cutesy little baby faces, and we also attacked heels too. So we really didn't care. It was a like a homage to the movie, to where even in our theme I had custom music made, but it started out with the whole purge announcement, So literally anything goes whenever we hit the ring. It was just once the lights go out and you hear the sirens, and you know then I came out with the glow mask, and it just set the tone, it set the mood. um, uh, I used to come out with a machete, which was a real machete. So as I would come out, I would take and slap it on the guardrail and let people know that it was real, and scrape down the guardrail as I was walking out to the ring. Um, and I've had people say that, man, I legit, you seem like the type of guy that would just cut me for real, So I, that's just the tone I set when I came out. Um, and that was just a part of people believing your gimmick and your character. So once you can get them to believe whatever they're seeing, it sets the tone for how you pretty much can do whatever you want with them, So the purge was my last, the last in my journey, but just personally, but it's a group that I intend on still keeping out there.
Are we going to see you in the ring in your own promotion?
Man, honestly, I'll never say never. Um, I've only wrestled twice here in DCW. Um, I was supposed to have my retirement match back in February, and due to a freak accident, I broke my hip.
Oh
So,
dang.
yeah, so I'm still healing up from that, but I can still go. Like, I can get in the ring right now. Like, going to training, I'm still bumping around and stuff. But I won't I won't say no. But I feel like I'm 51 now, so I feel like I would rather put that spotlight on the guys coming up.
Nothing wrong with that. I wish there was a lot more veteran wrestlers that had that same attitude. Like, like John Cena, to me, he's doing it correctly. He's getting his just due on his retirement, and then that's that. But like, even when Shawn Michaels was retired, he still came back and wrestled a few more times, even after being retired. You know, Undertaker and those guys, like, y'all could have saved those spots for somebody that needed it.
And they up top, man, it feels like like it goes back to like what we said about Oba. Um, Oba should hit the ground running on the main roster. So in order for that to happen, you would think that one of the guys that they're always calling back to do something and then leaves again, he could really be what makes Oba. So if
Mm-hmm.
Oba came in and destroyed Brock, look at what that would do for Oba.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think if Brock doesn't have the love of the business that an Oba does and the future in the business, like Brock should be on his talent making days. You know what I mean? He should be trying to make people now. Like Cena is doing on the way out. He's trying to make people. So I feel like you just got to know when to sit down. And that was my thing is I hate the way my last match went due to just the injury. But even before that, I didn't want to be seen as a detriment to the business. And I didn't want to be seen as less than what I was, and had been for so long. So, and if I felt like I was losing a step, I'd rather just sit down, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, have you ever got any of the calls to come up to the big company when you were really active?
To be honest, and it sounds crazy, it just wasn't what I wanted.
Well, you're not the first
For
person to
the,
say that, so not
Yeah,
surprising at all.
yeah,
I think I've always known what, like, say a WWE. I think I was always knowing what that was, and I just didn't want to be a part of that at all. You know, mainly because I knew I couldn't hold my tongue and be what they wanted guys to be, um, because I'm gonna be me regardless. And so if I can't be, um, I I'm just not gonna fake it for you. You know, if I have an issue with something that I see and that I know what's going on, I can't, I just can't be quiet about it. So, things that I say even on my socials are probably looked down on just because I'll give my opinion on things. And
Hmm.
I'm at the point now I don't have to chase a booking, so I don't have to worry about pissing off promoters. So I'll talk politics. I'll talk world events, current events, and stuff. So I don't have to worry about pissing off this racist promoter that you know that these other guys depend on to get bookings from. I don't need your booking now. So I'll say what I need to say and really don't care about what you got to think about it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that a lot of other people that are within well, I can't even say these companies because we've seen who was it, Bars? Was it Brody King said had the abolish ICE shirt on, so we know
yeah,
AEW and Tony Khan don't really care.
yeah.
It's the WWE that's going to care.
I think Tony knows that that's that's headlines. Tony knows that that's more eyes on the product. Good or bad, it's still more eyes on the product. Um, WWE is looking at it as shareholders and TKO, and
Yeah.
they still got to stay buddy buddy with Poopy Pants. So, um, you know, they got to do what they got to do to so he's not talking crazy about them. You know what I mean? When you still you're still crapping on a percentage of your base by what you're doing. You know, you should be really worried about your entire base. You know, rather than trying to cater to this small percentage over here. So I wish more guys would have the Shane Taylor stance, um, the Brody King stance, uh, and be as vocal as Swerve sometimes, and less that corporate guy. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you I'm not gonna be up for that company and try to toe that company line when I know that company don't give a shit about me. You know, I would rather be myself, be real, and just tell you how it is, and then let you decide. You know, hey, you either watch or you don't watch. You know, so yeah.
It's a crazy climate that we're in these days. I don't want to make this political, but it's like, you know what you got with one company, and you know what you're gonna get. You know what you got with the other company, and you know what you're gonna get, and then you got everybody else in the middle. Like, I don't see an MLW, a GCW, or a Ashe, or even Dominant Championship Wrestling like catering to just left wing. We're gonna cater to the left wing and left wing only. We don't care about the rest of them. Oh, we're gonna cater to MAGA and MAGA only. We don't care about anybody else. The one thing I love about the indie promotions as a whole is that you guys are catering to everybody. You don't give a damn if one side is leaning MAGA, other side is leaning liberal or conservative, Democrat, Republican, purple, red, blue, whatever. It's like wrestling. This is for everybody. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But it's gonna be for everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's MAGA in the crowd. I don't care.
Exactly.
you, you
And you're in
you
North
bought your
Carolina. You
ticket.
know damn well it is.
Yeah. Hey, you bought your ticket. You're gonna come in here. I'm gonna entertain you like I entertain anybody. But at the end of the day, keep that mess out and away from us. You know what I mean? You're still gonna respect our performers. You're still gonna respect us as a company. And I'm just not gonna bite my tongue when it comes to it. Now I don't have to push an agenda or a belief on the show. Um, and I don't. I've always been against those uh, stereotypical gimmicks. I've always been against those stereotypical angles. So I don't need a cheap pop, or I don't need to, like you said, cater to MAGA or cater to anybody. I want you to have a great time while you're here, and that's what'll bring you back. You know, um, all that other mess, all that other junk is just keep that shit at home. Like, you can come to these shows and get away from that mess. You know.
That's what wrestling is supposed to be about. I feel like not even just wrestling, just sports as a whole. You know, football, basketball, baseball. If you're into baseball, pro wrestling, like it's supposed to be a means of getting away from everyday life and things that are going on, just to go somewhere and be entertained. Be entertained for a few hours, and then you might leave the show or leave the game or whatever, and forget that you were even going through a certain thing just because you had such a good time.
Yeah, the last thing you need is an owner telling you you can't care about your own people because it'll make his shareholders upset or uncomfortable. I could care less, man. Like, at the end of the day, I'm black regardless, you know. So um I'm gonna be black whether you're comfortable or uncomfortable, you know. But I'm not gonna lessen who I am to make you comfortable, you know.
Hmm.
So if I have to speak out on something, I will. If I have to, you know, uh have those uncomfortable truths laid out, I will. Like, I'm not here to make you comfortable. Um, I will respect you as long as you respect me. So, um, I just won't put up with dumb stuff, you know. And I'll keep wrestling. I don't need to have a Trump character on the show to make, some kind of statement or whatever. I People come to see wrestling. They don't come to see politics. You know.
That's true.
So I'm gonna give you wrestling for the 2 hours, 2.5 hours you're there, and hopefully you'll come back wanting to see more.
100. Go ahead, Bars.
Yeah, I definitely, just to piggyback off of what you said, I definitely think all that outside noise just need to stay out, and just allow people to enjoy the product. Like all that rest of the stuff is gibberish. When people come to see pro wrestling, they come to see pro wrestling. They don't want to, think about, all the rest of that stuff. It's a getaway. And I do think, you know, as on the main surface of professional wrestling, I do think it's been infected a little bit with all that outside stuff. Um, I think right now where it's at and is the indies. You know what I'm saying? The indies. Because you guys don't necessarily need the outside noise to be successful. You know what I'm saying? You have a core, hardcore fan base of wrestling fans that just want to see wrestling. They don't want to hear about all the rest of that stuff. So I do think it's important to, just to keep the outside noise to a minimum and just focus on the product. And I think that's what is flourishing right now, especially for AEW. You know what I mean? Just blocking the outside noise and not having to worry about what the other side is doing. You know what I'm saying? I felt like when the two promotions were clashing, trying to battle for supremacy, you know what I'm saying? It took away from the product itself. You know what I mean? And the focus wasn't on the product no more. The focus was on trying to dominate the other company. And in that case, the creativity, the visual, where the product came from, started from, was being lost in transition. So that's why I say, like, keep the outside noise out there and just focus on the product itself, and then everything else is just gonna, come to fruition.
Oh yeah, I feel like AEW um, focused way too much on trying to bring up WWE or mentioning something that was going on in WWE instead of just doing themselves
Yeah.
and doing their thing. Because when it first started, they had a buzz about them because they were doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
So why bring up WWE for anything? I wouldn't care what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like with us. If we're in an area, I don't care if there's 5 other shows being ran in that area. We're gonna do us. You
Mm-hmm.
know, People who wanted to see us are gonna come to see us.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've made their mind up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna give them something they want to see. So I don't care about those 5 other shows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna run the Dominant Championship Wrestling brand and do our thing and give them what they want to see instead of trying to compete with anybody. I don't
Yeah.
see competition.
Yeah. I definitely think that's important, so I could feel that. Um, Here's a question for you. What is the process with creating storylines and booking matches in your promotion?
I think more on uh, moments. I think more on stories. Um, I'm big on visuals and telling a story as if you were looking at a movie. I like to build like how we've taken a relatively new tag team, built them into champions, and there was a whole story behind it of how they became champion. Underdogs beating the odds and taking on competition until they became champions. So I think as long as you have a compelling story, and that trumps moves and all that crap. I think as long as you can tell a story that gets the people invested emotionally, then you're doing a good thing. Because they'll forget those moves, but they'll never forget how you made them feel at the show.
Exactly. Exactly. I think I think the moments are definitely important. You know what I'm saying? I mean, prime example, when we think of WrestleMania, what guys do we think of as far as WrestleMania? First thing person that come to your mind is Hulk Hogan. Another person, Ultimate Warrior. Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon. You know what I'm saying? All those people come to your mind immediately when you think of WrestleMania because they created moments that was embedded in our heads from childhood all the way till now. So, I think moments is important. I also think storylines are important too because that helps build a character. That helps you gain interest. You know, you can have all the technical paralysis in the world. You know what I'm saying? If there's no personality behind that character, something that's going to make you care, then it's just a good wrestler.
Oh yeah,
That's basically what it is, a good wrestler. And not for nothing, there's a lot of that out here, nowadays, but I do feel that, like a lot of those good wrestlers, when they get to the bigger promotions and they start building their character, they become something different, and they become more interesting, they become more likable, and then before you know it, you got them holding a world title, and you like, dang, I remember when such and such was doing this, and now they're the champion, they're the head of the company. So I think a lot of times, like, that's very important. And not for nothing, too, like, when you have growing pains and you start off in the process and you just get that opportunity and you're on the main roster and things don't work as well for you that first go around, then you get removed and then you go back to the drawing board, you hit the indies again and you build back up your character and then you make them want you, then you go back, then you know what I'm saying, it's like a whole new process for you. But in this process this time they know who you are, you've made that name, you've took the bumps and you took the bruises and you came out on top. Prime example, Cody's first run WWE, it wasn't that solid, and then he went to the indies and he just did this whole 180 360 whatever you want to call it, did the whole Bullet Club run, went to New Japan, went to TNA. He made people like want him. Then he went and built a company from scratch. You know what I'm saying? He had ties in the company from scratch, and that's one thing I feel nobody could take away from that guy. Like, he helped build AEW, and build the company. Then next thing you know, it didn't work out with the company that he helped build. He went back to his old company. Look where he at. WWE champion.
yeah. He became undeniable. Like he went out there and made his name and built his brand. Um, and I think that's a lot of what WWE tries to do now is they'll let you go, even though it don't make sense. They'll let you go and see what you're gonna do out without them. And if
Mm-hmm.
you can build yourself bigger than what they had you, then they're gonna want you back. You know, I think they've let some guys go recently that they'll be calling back. But it'll
Mm-hmm.
depend on what they do on their own. So here on the indies, you have to kind of do the same thing. You have to do something to get their eye, and then you'll have to do things their way for a while, maybe, but for the most part, you can still be undeniable there. You can still set your feet, you know, and make them have to push you, but it's all on you, you know. They
Yeah.
tend to not want to push guys that get over on their own, but at the same time, like just do you. If you get over, you get over.
Yeah. I definitely agree. I agree with you 110%.
And we know
Uh,
who you talking about too.
They'll definitely call him back. I mean, they'll want him back. He he had something that they just didn't want it from him, you know. So they gave it to who they wanted to have it, which is crazy. But you just gotta show them that can't nobody do it like you, you know. So they've had they've had a few people they let go that um, whose name has actually become bigger once they leave, you know. And you just gotta do you. Like I would have a hard time um, being released and then going back to them. You know, I would
Mhm.
make them stand on. You know, like now you got to see me thrive and be successful somewhere else. When you had the chance to go ahead and capitalize on what you had. Maybe your writers just wasn't giving me any good content. You know, um,
He gave
maybe
himself
you,
good content after WrestleMania, though. He didn't need the writers
yeah,
for it. He gave himself
yeah.
good content.
They don't like that though because if you don't fit in with their plans, he was never who they were gonna push. They didn't want to push him. The fans wanted to push him. So that tells you right there that they didn't necessarily care what the fans thought. You know, which is crazy because I would think you're in this business. They're in the business for money, but you would think they're in the business to listen to the fans, and uh, that's just a lie when it comes to them. They don't care what the fans want.
What would it take to get somebody like him or his wife on DCW?
I would love to have them here, both of them. Right now, it would take some real good sponsors. uh, when those guys come back into the market, uh, like they've been used to this, you know. So um, that would be my only. I would love to have both of them.
We would love to see him on the show too.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, because we know they're making their rounds
Mm-hmm.
on the indie promotions, like even some of the smaller ones that because I think I've seen him promote something that's outside of like MLW and GCW and
Mm-hmm.
all them other ones, like just the tiers below them when it comes to indie promotion. I've seen him making his rounds on that too. So I'm like, what would it
And you
take?
may you may just see him on DCW. You may just see him on one of the shows. So we
Shoot
got
my
to see
shot.
what we got to see what shakes.
Mm-hmm.
You shoot your shot, man. You gotta shoot your shot.
Mm-hmm.
What's the worst that can happen, right? That's the way that's the way I look at things now. Worst thing that can happen is they say no. I think I'm doing all right.
Hey, We throw fillers out there, and we talk to a lot of people and see what's up, and we got some things in the works. So we'll see what shakes out.
I feel it. So before we close it on down for tonight, I don't know if you talked to Fodder about us, but I think what we're wanting to do is before every one of your big shows, we have you come on to the show. We talk about the upcoming show,
Mm-hmm.
and then we watch the show. And then at the end of the show, me and him will come on live and we'll break the show down. So
Okay.
just want to confirm that you're up for that too, because I don't want to
Yes,
just be
sir.
like make an assumption.
No, we're fine. Like we talked to him about it. I'm definitely on board.
Mm-hmm.
Look forward to it, and hopefully we can give you guys real good, real good attention and info and content.
Yeah, and our hopes is that like not only would you guys help us, but we're hoping that we help get DCW the fanfare that it deserves. Not it
Mm-hmm.
needs, but deserves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sure we can help each other out. I really appreciate being on. I really appreciate um, the partnership, and look forward to it.
Absolutely. Anything else you got for us, Bars?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off what my partner said. We're looking forward to our opportunity. Like uh, like I said, we're big wrestling fans. We watch wrestling 24/7. I think that has been the only thing I've been watching for the last for the last 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like I just really been on top of it as far as just trying to gather information as far as other promotions. Basically, networking and things like that. So I know just like he is, we're looking forward to the opportunity, of networking with you guys and just moving forward. Question though, merch. Where can we find some merch at?
You can find merch on our website, dominantchampionshipwrestling.com.
Okay.
We have shirts, hats, um, various other little things. But yeah, you can find it there.
Yeah, because we got a lot of Ashe merch. So now we gotta get some. We gotta get some dominant championship wrestling merch. Yeah. So
Oh
Especially if
yeah,
we're gonna be
oh
in
yeah,
if we're
yeah.
gonna be in a partnership, we definitely gotta have the merch to go with the
yeah,
partnership.
exactly,
Oh
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So
you shoot us the information, we'll make sure you get some.
okay, for sure, for sure. We'll do that immediately. Yeah. We definitely need that. Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So
Make
I'll
sure
let
you get it.
I'll let Dub usually closes out with with
Well, I don't think I need to close out with the question this time around because what I'm hoping for is with this partnership, we're gonna have Nems on here before every big show, right? So that means the talent should see it too, and then the talent be like, you know what? I need to go over there, go on there too.
mm-hmm,
If the big boss man can go on there, I need to
mm-hmm,
go on there too.
yeah.
I think it speaks for itself. But what I'm getting to is we normally close out our show with, if you can see anybody on our show, who would it be? But you have to help us get that person on the show. I'm hoping that I won't have to ask you that question because the talent can see that the big boss man is on the show, so there's nothing wrong with them coming on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
I could pretty much guarantee anybody that's on the show would be happy and like ecstatic to be on the show. Um, if we could even highlight a certain person from a match or whatever, we can do that. We can bring in um, the a different person every show if you want. whether it be champion or non-champion, we can get anybody that's on the show. We can get them here.
I'm all for that. See, there was no need to ask him. The big boss man's here. You know what I'm saying?
Say less. Yeah, we ready. We ready. We ready. We ready. Yeah, yeah.
We can get you. I can hook you right up.
We ready. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you've seen, we got the big boss man himself, Nems, the owner of DCW, Dominant Championship Wrestling. We have entered a partnership with him and Dominant Championship Wrestling. So tomorrow, make sure at 7 p.m. Eastern time, you guys are YouTube, correct?
Yes, sir.
You guys are on YouTube to watch Locked and Loaded pay-per-view for DCW. Y'all, we talked about the card earlier in the show. You ain't gonna want to miss this one. I promise you.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Keep your eyes glued. Eyes glued to that television monitor. Keep your eyes glued to the computer. Eyes glued to the phone. Whatever you watch your content at, keep your eyes glued there, because they got this event tomorrow and you don't want to miss it. 7 p.m. in the evening. Get to that YouTube, Dominant Championship Wrestling, Lock and Loaded. Sam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Come experience the difference.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, we definitely appreciate you for tapping in with us. We know you've had a very, very, very busy day. We appreciate you taking time out and doing this. You won't be disappointed. You know what I mean? We work hard, you know what I'm saying, to make sure everything is running like a well-oiled machine. We're constantly dropping content. You know, we've been doing this for, podcast hasn't been out that long, but it seems that way because, you know, we just working very, you know, pretty much like a well-oiled machine. You know, we're just trying to do the best we can to not only put our content out there to the masses, but also showcase the talent to the masses as well. You know what I'm saying? So this partnership that is going on, you know, means a lot. It means a lot, you know.
Yes, sir.
And it shows
Appreciate
that our
you.
hard work is paying off, and it also showing that your hard work is paying off, that, you know, a podcast want to come partner with you, and it shows that hard work is paying off for us because an owner of his own promotion is willing to partner with us. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty to go around for, you know, appreciate everybody. You know, my partner down here, we appreciate you. We appreciate Fodder for, you know, having it all come together. So,
yo,
yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to the homie, Psycho Boy. Yeah, shout out to him for him.
Fodder's the man, man. Fodder's the man.
Yeah, very
Absolutely.
cool dude. Very cool dude. Shout out to him for sure. We appreciate it. Yeah. So, without further ado, you see what we got here. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. And we're going to be watching. Without further ado, special guest, Nemesis, Nems. DCW, Dominant Championship Wrestling. It's the podcast championships of the world. Ring Ropes Turnbuckle Podcast. We'll be back with another one. Sayonara.
Following podcast scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, they are the Internet Podcast.